You are now witnessing the moment where Ethan Strand of UNC broke the indoor collegiate record in the mile. And to clarify, that is the second collegiate record that he has broken during this season alone. So as long as the Tar Heels have him on their roster, they are now practically a lock to finish top 10 at the NCAA Championship meet. But before I get into all that, allow me to explain why I make these videos. Because college track and field teams have some of the best athletes in the world competing in their uniforms, which is why some of them can even go out there and put down world-leading times when they compete. But you would barely know that, because college track and field is so hard to follow that you can barely do it even if you wanted to. So for that reason, I decided to bring it to you every single week of the season. So here is what really happened this past weekend in college track and field. All of the highlights the way that I understand them, specifically with the focus on the performances that are gonna make a difference on who's gonna win a national title or not. And it all starts on the women's side, where freshman India Mayberry of TCU is still holding on to her collegiate lead in the 60-meter dash. But Victoria Cameron of Tarleton State has now climbed up to second overall in the entire nation in that event. But it doesn't stop there, because Jaden Mays has now hit the track. She ran the 60 and the 200, putting down top 5 performances in both. And after the Olympic trials performances she put down last year, I fully expect her to be competing for a national title in both events when it's all done. But if you were paying attention to what they do at Boston U, Megan Hunter of BYU went out and ran a new collegiate lead in the 800 because she really didn't have any choice in the matter. The only way she was going to win that race was if she did, because the women who are now second and third in the entire nation were right behind her in that event by less than a second. And Amy Bondage of Stanford is now the 3K national leader because she went out there to run at Boston U as well. But perhaps the most exciting women's event of the weekend had to be the pole vault, because Chloe Timberg of Rutgers went out to set a new collegiate lead. Keep in mind, she is the defending national champion outdoors in that event, but she also really didn't have a choice in the matter, at least if she wanted to be the leader, because twins Hannah and Amanda Moll of the University of Washington are now tied for second place right behind her in that event. And that was the first time that they vaulted all season. In Hannah's case, she's the defending champion from the indoor season last year. So it's getting real out there in the vault. But Anthea Charlton of Florida is now the new collegiate leader in the long jump. And allow me to break it down to you real quick, because this is a big deal. Her near 23-foot jump is better than anything any woman last season put down, either indoors or outdoors except one. And that woman already turned pro, so she ain't coming back this season. So to be real with you, unless something changes, we now know who is supposed to win the long jump this season at the NCAAs. And after all that, we have a brand new shot put collegiate lead from Maya Lesner of Colorado State. She was there at the NCAAs last season, so now she's coming back again, perhaps as the favorite. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Moving on to the men's side, as far as the sprints are concerned, it is officially getting real out there, because we have a brand new collegiate lead in the 200-meter dash. Olympian Wanya McCoy of Florida decided it was his turn to be at the top of the leaderboard, and he had to take it from fellow Olympian Carly Makarawu of Kentucky. So at this point in the season, it's abundantly clear that you are not going to win that event if you don't have Olympic caliber speed. And in the 400, things really got serious, because Genoa McIver, also of Florida, is the collegiate leader in that event. But you gotta understand the whole situation, because he's not just the collegiate leader. He ran it on the weekend, where 7 other men all ran what would have been the collegiate lead in the 400-meter dash. I'm not saying that the times from the past weekends were slow. What I am saying is that all of these times are a whole lot faster. But Genoa McIver is the only one to put down a time that basically would have been a lock to get him a medal indoors last season at the NCAAs. So going forward, you're probably not going to win it all this year if you're not ready to go through him. Which brings me now to address the Ethan Strand situation, because he is not just the collegiate leader indoors in the mile. He broke the collegiate record in that event. Depending on who you ask, people might even tell you that he shattered it. The time he ran is so fast that apparently it is third in the world all time for indoor performances. And I continue to remind you that he already broke a collegiate record earlier this season in the 3K. There's 20 points on the board for UNC at the NCAA Championships that we can basically bank on. If they want to make a run for a national title, they just got to figure out how to find another 20 or so points. But even if the rest of the team doesn't help out, he can literally carry them into the top 10 all by himself now. And over in the pole vault, Alexander Soloviev of Texas A&M took back his collegiate lead in that event. But I cannot ignore what Jonathan Therems of Missouri pulled off in the triple jump, because he went 55 feet and 7 inches. And allow me to put it in perspective. Nobody else in the nation has broken the 55-foot barrier this season, and very few men even have the talent to pull it off even if they wanted to. So we can basically call him the favorite heading into the championship meet, at least until somebody else shows us something that we ain't seen yet. With conference championships now about a month away, winning should be the main priority for just about everybody in college. The only problem is, if winning at the national level is really what you want to do, you now know who exactly you're going to have to beat in order to pull it off. And with the types of performances that have already gone down this season, you're probably going to have to figure out how to do something that you have never done before if you really want to be a national champion. But keep in mind, the lanes on a track don't discriminate. They don't care what uniform you're wearing or what conference you compete for. The only thing that matters is that when the lights are on, you are ready to perform, because all of these athletes have already proven that they're ready to pull that part off. If you think you need help getting recruited, you are probably right. On SCArecruiting.com, you can get a ton of resources, like my free recruiting guide, detailed videos, online courses, and much more. And if nothing else, and you just really want to see more content like this, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.